Chapter 13. Do not sleep with the Shaykh. The disciple must not, under any circumstances, sleep in the same house as the Shaykh, even if it means having to sleep outside in the cold, in intense heat, or in the face of any threat. And, if the Shaykh proposes it, the disciple should make an excuse to avoid this awkward situation. Indeed, among the greatest breaches of adab is disturbing the Shaykh in his residence with one's presence, which comes with noises, smells, and other inconveniences, such as insomnia while the Shaykh is sleeping. If you happen to err in your adab, dear seeker, repent to Allah and renew your intention in order to perfect your behavior and your adab with the Shaykh. And if you refuse to improve, you will see the Shaykh get tough and make your life and wayfaring more difficult until you understand and change your habits. For the Zawiyah is indeed similar to the army. Do not wait for women to prepare food for you, especially when the kitchen is vacant. Cook, wash your clothes by hand, and tidy up your sleeping area, because it would be enough for the Shaykh to enter your room to assess your spiritual station, your maqam. The disciple must be self-sufficient, and this autonomy represents a crucial stage in his journey to becoming a perfected human, al-insan kamil. Some find these rules very demanding, yet they come from the book of Shaykh Buzidi and were applied more than 200 years ago. These are the same methods and the same path that we must apply today in a true Sufi order, because the path leading to Allah is unique, regardless of the time. As for the disciple who is lazy with these rules and who is nonchalant regarding them, we advise him to first go to the army, where he can educate himself and learn the apparent and outward manners. Once he has incorporated them, he can then turn to the path of Allah, where he will learn the inner and hidden manners. He will then become a true soldier against his lower self, his nafs, and can return to the Shaykh to draw from his teachings. If you see yourself as incapable of this, then remain vigilant and attach great reverence to the words we say, in order to apply them, and do not be among the lazy ones who refuse to make an effort. They will see the Shaykh abandon them and turn away from them in favor of those who are truly seeking the presence of Allah. I myself, during my childhood, lived for nearly 7 years with my stepmother, who was very harsh with me, even harsher than my experience in the military. She was so harsh that I preferred to take refuge in a Moroccan boarding school for 3 years. And needless to say, Moroccan boarding schools are nothing like what you find in Europe. It was in this very strict and rigorous place that I learned to be orderly and learn the manners of everyday life. The tariqah as a whole is nothing but manners, and whoever is devoid of them will have no share in the path. Shaykh Moulay al-Arabi al-Darkawi said, if the adab are fulfilled, then the path will be fulfilled. If there are no adab, then there will neither be adab nor path. Anyone who has not experienced this, but wishes to learn, can do so by reading books such as Kitab Adab al-Mardiyah, through which indeed the disciple will realize how much they lack decorum. As for me, in the 7 difficult years spent in the company of my stepmother, the 3 years at the boarding school, and the 10 years of wandering throughout Morocco, I wondered why Allah was punishing me. It was only after I entered the spiritual retreat, the khulwa, that I realized that my Lord had prepared me for His mission. This is the difference between ordinary people and the seal of sainthood, Khatam al-Awliya. His entire education is under the tutelage of Allah Himself, as He says, I selected thee for myself. Surah Taha, verse 41. Understand that when Allah grants you true knowledge, that adab are the Noah's ark of salvation for the spiritual wayfarer. Whoever boards will be safe, even if they have a little knowledge, and the believer does not surpass his brother except by the excellence of his behavior. He cannot reach the self-sustaining one except by the eminence of his behavior in accordance with the divine word, and truly thou art of an exalted character. Surah Al-Qalam, verse 64.